My cherished soul, I need you to pause everything right now and listen with every fiber of your being, because what I am about to reveal will shake the very foundation of everything you thought you knew about the person who occupies the deepest chamber of your heart. This is not just another message that will fade into the noise of your day. This is a divine interruption, a sacred unveiling that has been written in the stars long before you ever drew your first breath. 3 nights ago, while the moon hung low and the world slumbered in oblivion, something shifted in the invisible realm that surrounds the one you love more than your own reflection. A door opened that can never be closed again. A threshold was crossed that leaves no room for return. And while everyone in their circle has felt the tremor of this change, while whispers have begun to circulate like autumn leaves caught in an unseen wind, you alone have been kept in sacred darkness. But today, this very moment, heaven has chosen to break its silence because your soul cannot walk forward carrying a love this deep without knowing the truth that everyone else already senses but cannot name. There are moments in the fabric of existence that arrive so quietly you could mistake them for ordinary hours. Yet, in the realm beyond what eyes can see, they thunder with the force of colliding galaxies. 3 nights ago was such a moment for the one whose name lives on your lips even when you speak of other things, whose presence haunts your thoughts even in crowds, whose absence creates an ache that no distraction can truly fill. Something happened to them in the stillness of that night. Their spirit was marked, their path was altered, their very essence was touched by forces that most people will never encounter in their entire lifetime. And though their face may look the same when you see them next, though their voice may carry the same familiar tones, I am here to tell you with absolute certainty that they will never be the same person again. The change is invisible to casual observers, but it burns like a brand upon their soul. If you are still with me, if you have stayed this far, then I want you to do something for me. Leave a comment below and simply write the word ready. Just that single word, because by writing it, you are declaring to the universe that you are prepared to step into the role that has been assigned to you. You are announcing that you will not run when the truth becomes heavy. You will not abandon when the path grows difficult. And heaven hears such declarations and responds with strength you did not know you possessed. Close your eyes for just a moment, and let me paint you a picture of what unfolded. Imagine a night where even the stars seem to hold their breath. A night where the boundary between the seen and unseen world grew thin as gossamer thread. Your beloved stood alone in a space that felt both infinitely vast and suffocatingly small. Around them, invisible to human eyes but real as stone and steel, a gathering took place. Angels drew near, ancient forces stirred, and in that convergence of the eternal and the temporal, something was required of them, not asked, required. They had to release something they had carried for so long it had become part of their identity. A belief about themselves, a protection they had built, a version of who they thought they had to be in order to survive in this harsh and unforgiving world. When that thing fell away, when it was finally stripped from their trembling hands, they stood naked before the mirror of their own soul for the first time in years. Perhaps for the first time ever. And what they saw there changed them in ways that no amount of time can undo. The people who stand closest to them have already begun to notice. They see it in the way silence now falls differently around them. They feel it in the subtle shift of energy when they enter a room. They sense it in glances that linger a moment too long, in words that catch before they are spoken, in the weight that seems to press upon shoulders that used to carry lightness with ease. This is why the whispers have started. This is why eyes follow them now with a mixture of curiosity and something that looks almost like reverence or perhaps fear. Everyone knows something has shifted, but you are the only one who has been chosen to understand what it truly means. Do you want to know why heaven kept this from you until now? Because your love for this person is not like the love others carry. Your connection runs deeper than surface affection or convenient companionship. Heaven knows that if you had been told earlier, if the revelation had come through human lips or earthly circumstances, it would have been filtered through fear and misunderstanding. But this truth is too sacred for that. It requires a pure channel. It requires divine timing. And so you were kept in holy unknowing until this precise moment when your spirit is ready to receive what your mind might have rejected before. Stay with me now. Do not let your attention wander, because every word I am speaking is being placed here for you specifically. This is not a general message cast into the void hoping to catch whoever might listen. This is a targeted revelation aimed directly at your heart because you are the one who must carry this knowledge forward. You are the one who has been appointed as witness and guardian and companion for what comes next in their journey. Think about all the times you have felt restless without cause, all the nights you have woken at strange hours with their name pressing against your consciousness, all the moments you have sensed something stirring in the invisible spaces between you, even when miles or silence separated your physical forms. Those were not random occurrences, those were preparation. Heaven was tuning your spirit like an instrument, adjusting the frequencies of your soul to match the frequency of their transformation so that when this moment arrived you would be ready to receive it without shattering. The person you love deeply has been transformed by what happened 3 nights ago. They lost something that can never be recovered through human effort or earthly means. But beloved listener, hear me clearly when I say this. What they lost was not taken by cruelty. It was removed by mercy, because what they were carrying was slowly crushing the life from their true self. It was a weight disguised as strength, a prison disguised as safety, a lie disguised as truth. And heaven, in its infinite wisdom and fierce compassion, decided that the time had come for liberation, even though liberation always demands a price. Listen carefully, because what I am about to tell you next will help you understand the days that are coming. Your beloved is going to seem different in ways that are hard to describe. Their laughter may sound slightly hollow, as if it is echoing from a deeper place than before. Their eyes may carry a distant quality, as if they are seeing things that exist beyond the surface of ordinary reality. They may withdraw into silence more often, not because they no longer care for connection, but because they are learning a new language, and the old words no longer fit what they are trying to express. When you notice these changes, and you will notice them, do not panic. Do not interpret them as rejection or loss of love. Understand that they are growing into something larger than they were, and growth always requires a period of awkwardness and uncertainty. What your beloved lost 3 nights ago was not an object or a possession, or even a relationship in the conventional sense. What they lost was a false version of themselves, a mask they had worn for so long they had forgotten it was not their true face, a role they had played so convincingly that even they believed it was who they really were. This false self had to die so that the true self could finally breathe. And death, even the death of what was never real to begin with, is always painful. It always feels like loss. It always creates a void that takes time to fill with something more authentic. So when you see them grieving, understand that they are mourning the end of an illusion, and that is holy work, that is necessary work. The coming days will test you in ways you may not anticipate. Your beloved is going to need things from you that they have never needed before. Not material things, not solutions or advice or fixing. They are going to need your presence without agenda, your listening without judgment, your love without conditions or expectations of return. This kind of giving is rare in our world. Most people love with strings attached, with unspoken contracts that demand reciprocity and performance. But the love you are being called to offer is different. It is the love that mirrors how heaven loves. It is the love that holds without grasping, that gives without counting cost, that remains even when there is no immediate reward. Let me tell you what is going to happen in the very near future. There will come a moment, perhaps when you least expect it, when your beloved will look at you with eyes that carry both fear and hope. They will open their mouth to speak, and words will catch in their throat because what they need to say feels too big, too vulnerable, too terrifying to release into the air between you. In that moment, you must create space for their truth. You must lean in rather than pull away. You must let your face show that whatever they are about to reveal will not diminish your love or change your commitment. And when they finally speak, when they finally share what happened 3 nights ago and how it has changed them, you must receive their words as the sacred offering they are. That moment is coming. It is already written in the invisible script of your shared story, and how you respond in that moment will determine the trajectory of everything that follows. If you meet their vulnerability with your own vulnerability, if you match their courage with your courage, if you show them that you see the change in them and you are not afraid of it, something will shift between you that can never be undone. A bond will form that is stronger than anything either of you has known before. The transformation that began 3 nights ago is not finished. It is only beginning. What you are witnessing is the first chapter of a much longer story. There will be more changes, more shedding of old skin, more releasing of what no longer serves. And each time your beloved goes through another layer of transformation, they will need you to be the constant, the unchanging presence in their changing world, the steady ground beneath their unsteady feet. This is a sacred responsibility, but it is also a sacred privilege, because as you witness their transformation, as you hold space for their becoming, you too will be transformed. You cannot stand this close to the fire of another person's evolution without being changed by its heat. Before we go further, I want to invite you to engage with this message in a tangible way. If what you are hearing resonates in your spirit, if you feel that this revelation is speaking directly to your situation, show your agreement by liking this video. That simple action sends a signal to the universe that you are aligning yourself with the truth being spoken here. The people who surround your beloved have noticed the change, but they do not know what to do with it. Some are uncomfortable and will begin to pull away, unable to handle the unfamiliarity of this new version. Some will try to force them back into the old patterns because that feels safer and more predictable. Some will gossip and speculate and create narratives that have nothing to do with the truth. But you will do none of these things. You will stand firm in the knowing that heaven has given you. You will trust the process even when it looks messy and uncertain. You will believe in their becoming even when they struggle to believe in it themselves. Let me speak to you now about the whispers, the ones that have already started circulating among those who know your beloved, the subtle comments, the concerned questions, the looks that carry unspoken judgments or assumptions. You will hear these whispers. You will be pulled into conversations where people want to discuss what they think is happening. In those moments, you must guard your tongue. You must protect the sacred knowledge that has been entrusted to you. What heaven has revealed to you is not meant to be shared casually or used to satisfy others' curiosity. So when the whispers reach your ears, simply smile and say that you trust your beloved is exactly where they need to be. Say that you see growth, not crisis, and then change the subject. Now let us talk about what you need to do practically in the days ahead. First, you must create space in your own life for the emotional and spiritual energy this situation will require. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot be a steady presence for someone else if you are depleted and running on fumes. So tend to your own soul with the same care you are being asked to tend to theirs. This is not selfish. This is essential. Second, you must release any expectations you have been carrying about how your relationship with this person should look or develop. The transformation they are undergoing will change the dynamics between you. Things that used to work may no longer work. Patterns that felt comfortable may need to be renegotiated. This is not loss. This is evolution. Be willing to let the relationship become something new rather than trying to force it to remain what it was. Third, you must practice patience on a level you have perhaps never practiced before. Transformation does not happen on a convenient timeline. There will be moments when you want to rush the process, when you want to push your beloved to move faster or be further along than they are. Resist that urge. Trust that every moment of the journey is necessary. Trust that heaven's timing is perfect, even when it feels frustratingly slow to your human perception. Fourth, you must learn to recognize the difference between supporting someone and rescuing them. Support means standing beside them as they do their own work. Rescuing means trying to do their work for them. Your beloved needs support, not rescue. They need you to believe in their strength even when they feel weak. They need you to trust their process even when it looks chaotic. The night 3 nights ago when everything changed for your beloved, there was a moment of absolute clarity, a moment when all the noise and confusion fell away, and they saw themselves with brutal honesty. They saw the ways they had been hiding, the ways they had been performing, the ways they had been betraying their own truth in order to meet others' expectations or avoid others' disappointment. And in that moment of seeing, they could not unsee. They could not go back to the comfortable blindness they had lived in before. This is both a gift and a burden. Your beloved is being called to live more authentically than they have ever lived before, to speak more truthfully, to choose more consciously, to show up more fully. This calling is both exhilarating and terrifying. It promises freedom but demands everything. It offers wholeness but requires breaking, and they cannot walk this path alone. They need companions who understand that the journey toward authenticity is not a straight line but a spiral. They need someone who will not be discouraged when progress seems slow or when old patterns resurface. They need you. This is why your role matters so much. You are not just helping one person through a difficult time. You are serving as midwife to a rebirth that has implications beyond what you can see. Every time someone sheds their false self and steps into their true self, the collective consciousness of humanity shifts just a little bit. The possibility of authenticity becomes a little more real for everyone. The prison of pretense weakens just slightly. You are part of that. Your faithful presence, your steady love, your refusal to abandon or judge or try to force your beloved back into their old form, all of this is contributing to something much larger than your individual relationship. I want to speak now about the moment that is coming when your beloved will finally tell you their truth. When they will share what happened 3 nights ago and how it has changed them. This moment will require everything you have learned so far and more. You will need to listen not just with your ears but with your whole being. You will need to hear not just the words they speak but the words they cannot speak. You will need to see the fear behind their eyes and meet it with courage. You will need to feel the trembling in their voice and meet it with steadiness. And most importantly, you will need to resist the urge to respond immediately with reassurance or solutions or attempts to make them feel better. Your first response must simply be thank you. Thank you for trusting me with this. Thank you for letting me see you. Thank you for having the courage to speak your truth. That simple acknowledgement will do more to heal and strengthen them than any advice or comfort you could offer. After you have acknowledged their courage, then you can speak your own truth. And your truth in that moment must be this: I see you. I see how you have changed. I see that you are not who you were 3 nights ago. And I am not afraid of this new version of you. In fact, I am honored to witness who you are becoming. I do not need you to be who you were. I am here. I am staying. And I believe in where you are going, even if neither of us can see it clearly yet. There is something I need to warn you about. In the days and weeks following your beloved's revelation, there may be moments when you doubt. Moments when you wonder if you are strong enough for this. These doubts are normal. They are human. They do not mean you are failing when these doubts come, and they will come. Do not fight them. Simply acknowledge them. Yes, this is hard. Yes, I am afraid. And then remember why you are here. Remember the love that drew you to this person in the first place. Remember that heaven does not ask you to do this in your own strength, but promises to provide what you need when you need it. As we move toward the conclusion of this message, I want to leave you with a vision of what is possible. Imagine a future where your beloved has fully stepped into their authentic self, where they walk with confidence not because they have it all figured out, but because they have learned to trust their own inner guidance, where they speak their truth clearly and kindly, where they show up fully in their relationships, including their relationship with you, without hiding or performing or pretending. This future is not just possible, it is the inevitable result of the transformation that began 3 nights ago. You can be part of making this future real. Your steady presence, your unconditional love, your refusal to abandon them in their becoming. All of this creates the conditions in which transformation can complete itself. And here is what most people do not understand about being the witness to someone else's transformation. You do not emerge unchanged. As you watch your beloved shed their false self and step into their true self, you will be confronted with your own false self. You will see your own masks, your own pretenses, your own ways of hiding, and you will be invited to do your own work of shedding and becoming. This is the gift hidden within the challenge. You are not just helping them. You are being helped. You are not just witnessing their rebirth. You are being prepared for your own. Before I release you back into your day, I want to pray a blessing over you. May you have eyes to see beyond appearances into the truth of what is happening. May you have ears to hear not just words but the heart behind the words. May you have strength to stand when everything in you wants to run. May you have wisdom to know when to speak and when to be silent. May you have courage to love without guarantees or safety nets. May you have faith to trust the process even when you cannot see the outcome. May you have grace for yourself when you stumble and grace for your beloved when they stumble. May you have the assurance that you are not alone in this, that heaven walks with you, that angels surround you, that you are held and guided and equipped for everything that is coming. And may you have the deep, unshakable knowing that you are exactly where you are supposed to be, doing exactly what you are meant to do, loving exactly who you are meant to love. The person you love deeply will never be the same again after what happened 3 nights ago. But neither will you. And that is not tragedy, that is destiny. That is the unfolding of a story that was written before time began. Trust it, walk it, live it, and know that you are blessed beyond measure to play the role you have been given. Go now in peace and in power, knowing that heaven is with you and that love, true love, real love, the kind of love you are being called to offer never fails.